Hello Karen, thank you for watching this video. Again, I'm Travis Miller with Last Dragon Digital Marketing. So the point of this video is twofold. One is to give you some tips and tricks to use on your website to increase your online presence, traffic, and revenue. Secondly is to compare your website to a local competitor's website and see if those tips and tricks could outrank them when it comes to Google searches. So I'll talk about three things: content, backlinks, and citations. So whatever I talk about here, you definitely use on your own, on your website. But if you want to talk about that or anything further, please feel free to give me a call, email me, or text. But either way, if you leave me a few lines of feedback in the email over the video, what you like about it or don't like about it, that just helps me get better at making these videos. All right, so let's get to it. So first, let's talk about content. So with content, you need anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 words, just depending on the competition and number of keywords needed. So a keyword is anything someone might type into Google looking for a particular service or product. So in your content on your website, you can place those keywords throughout to tell Google exactly what terms you want your website to be found for. So your website here, obviously got a beautiful laid out website, like the pictures and the links. But I'll just focus on maybe some of your wording content, just to increase your content, and that'll help you rank some of the local competitors in the area with different services. So speaking of Google, so when we type into Google here, I just picked heat and air services. That's something you provide in the Lewisville, Texas area. And here's what comes up. So sometimes you see these ads here. So that's something you could invest in if you haven't done that already. And there's ads here too. And sometimes the map pack comes up with citations. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But we call these organics here. So when you do a search, the goal is to be on that first page of any kind of service you provide or area, to be on that first page. And as you can see here, you scroll down, you're not on the first page, but you guys are doing well in other service areas, and other services you provide, that you just add to that to make it online. So, saying is, a good place to hide a dead body is on Google page 2 or 3. Just people don't go here to search for a product or service. So the goal is to be on all services you provide in areas on that first page. So I picked someone in the middle, like Stark Services. They do a good job in the area. But I'll compare your website to their website and see if we could outrank them with a few tips and tricks. So speaking of content, staying on the content, this is a tool we use. It's called Ahrefs. And it just does a deep dive into websites and links. So here's your website right here, and here's your numbers. So on your website, you're using 38 keywords. So that's the content I was talking about. So even though you have a lot of words on there, content, I'll just focus on some of the buyer intent keywords, all the services you provide, water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, that you could add to your website. And the higher the search volume, the better. So definitely keep the stuff you have on there, but think about what other buyer intent keywords you could put on your website to get closer to your competitor. Speaking of that, here's Stark Services, one of your kind of middle competitors. So the goal is to outrank them to get on that first page of the heat services in Lewisville, Texas. And they do a good job, but definitely beatable. So their numbers, and here's their website right here. So they have 194 keywords. Not a lot. You have 38, so you could definitely get close to that 194 keywords. And just you could take some of these keywords that don't apply to them, like Stark, but just some of those, HVAC and Fort Worth, to even expand further outside of Lewisville. Some of those buyer intent keywords with high search volume, more bang for your buck, you could put it on your website and get closer to outranking them. Next, we'll go back to your numbers and we'll talk about backlinks. So a backlink is anywhere where you find one website, link it to another on your website. So these links act like an endorsement of your website from others, which Google uses that to build trust in your business by seeing others vouching for you. So think of it as like a popularity contest. The person with the most backlinks wins. But keep it in mind, not all backlinks are created equal. So it's important to have other HVAC services, plumbing services, water heater service websites linking back to yours. It doesn't help if a dentist or a restaurant or doctor's office link back to you, just as to give you that trust power with Google. So for you guys are on a very good start. You have over 1,000 backlinks. That's most than I see in other websites with 155 different domains. But just comparing that to your local competitors, we'll go back on their numbers. So they have almost 3,000. So they have quite a few backlinks, 98 different reference domains. So again, the goal is to eventually beat them, but get closer to them. So increase your backlinks as well as your content to get closer to these numbers to get on that first Google search page. And then finally, there's citations, as I said. So citations is anywhere where your business name, your number, your address are shown exactly on your Google business profile. So citations help you rank in this map pack here, which is extremely important for local businesses since these can generate huge amounts of revenue. So citations include directories like Yelp, Angie's List, Expertise, BBB, hundreds of others you may have heard of. Also, social media accounts work great too. So the idea is that your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet, and the larger your online presence is, the more Google trusts you. So once Google sees you more often than these competitors, the more likely it is you could outrank them. And the goal is to be in the top 3. Sometimes there's 4 here, but to be in the top 3. Much like the organics, people don't go on to page 2 or 3. People don't push this button here for more businesses. It's the first thing they see. So the goal is to be on that top 3 with your citations. So think about increasing your citations with directories. So once your content, your backlinks, and your citations, they all come together, you start to outgrow your competitors. And here's what you might be looking at and why that's so important. So not sure what your margins are, but I imagine that will generate some pretty decent revenue for you. Also, there's many more keywords you could use to generate more and more traffic leads. So this is what I do, and I'm creating this video for you to help you start generating those leads online. So if you do find yourself wanting more to continue scaling as far as you want, feel free to reach out to me. I can help you out with that with more information, or we can talk about your goals, and I could do research to find out exactly what could be realistic for your business and what it might take to reach those goals. So again, if you wouldn't mind leaving me a few lines of feedback on this video, that'll help me out. Again, my name is Travis Miller with Last Dragon Digital Marketing. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, and good luck to you. Have a good day.